everyone had picked your favorite and best looking paper in your hand from all of these designs that I made, right? I really want to see what you guys have chosen. Can you, everyone, lift it in the air for me? As far as I can see, it's all different, but it can be anything as long as you like it. Each doll has different types of style. In my point of view, fashion is never wrong and never right. It depends on others' personality, likes and dislikes. Unlike education, they have fact answers that everyone has to pass the indicator. Like when you're little, way little, you have to start from singing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Let's stop it from there. This song is very time-consuming, so. Can you believe that when I was little, I hated English, and I want nothing to do with it? And this is one of the reasons why my mother forced me to learn English outside of school more. And that even makes me dislike English even more. Like, every time I entered the room, and then the teacher would start saying, open your book, read this textbook, or write this paragraph or something. And all I can hear is just English, and boring stuff. Nothing went into my head. But there's this teacher. Let's call him Mr. R. Mr. R is very friendly and kind. There's one time I found an interest in this superhero book, and it's so interesting. So I just go through all the pages because I can't read at that time. I was so little and have very limited English. And Mr. R decided to come and then explain all the different types of their personalities and their powers to me. And I found it very fascinating. So I asked him to play a role play with me, and he agreed. So that day we were superheroes fighting crimes. Well, the next day I came in class, I dressed up as a princess, and I was 10 to find toys. So I opened this place where, they store toys, put them in front of me, and then throw them around to see which one I wanted to play with, and I came across a rubber ducky. And I just went to a burger store. You know what? Let's call it Burger Queen, because no sponsors. So I attached this rubber ducky to the Burger Queen's crown, and then Mr. R put it on. I may now declare Mr. R as a duck princess. And Miss Superhero, aka me, has to save this duck princess in every quest. And this duck princess had, we played this every day, and I love it. And the more we played, the closer we get. And the closer we get, the more chaotic play we started to play. Well, it started light. It's just crafting and drawings and put them on each other. But then, one day, I decided to stand on the sofa, Mr. R having a huge table, defending himself, and we were throwing toys in the air, like plushies, and there's glitter in the air, there's glue on the floor. How did that happen? I don't know, but it's still fun. We were screaming and shouting, but we were too loud. My mother came, and she saw us. I didn't know what happens next, but apparently in the next day I came in class, Mr. R was nowhere to be seen. Instead, he was replaced by a teacher whom I never met before, and she teaches me differently. She started by, open your textbook. Sound familiar? And then all I can hear is just English, and boring stuff, which it's just not fun. I don't like it. It's so boring and torturing, but it's not physically torturing. It's more like mental torturing. Had you guys ever had this feeling where you just have to look at the watch minutes by minutes just to make sure that there's only 5 minutes until break time? Yeah, that's how I feel. Kids feeling. Of course. And I was saved by the bell. This happens to us lots of times too. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. I ran across the hallways and then slammed open the head teacher's room and screamed, "Bring back my duck princess, please." Well, they seemed a bit confused because the person who actually learned in that room was saying that she wanted her old teacher and wanted to play again. But the person who actually pays for the school cost is saying another different thing. What should she do? So she called my mother in. And my mother was shocked that I was able to communicate with adults by myself and how my English has improved. So she agreed to bring back my duck princess, and we finished all the quests. Some people might feel fond of learning in textbooks, but others just might need different ways of learning, like I do. And this is how I can speak English fluently, just because of one duck. But I still have to learn English outside of school, and I always have this attitude to dress well. I like wearing quirky dresses. For example, I wear a princess dress, not a regular princess dress. I put nets on my face, wear 3 layers of skirt just to go learn English in the mall. And I put balloons on my head as hats and put them on parts of my body to make them look quirky and stuff, just to go to my dad's workplace near the train station. I love it. It's so fun. But other people, they look at me with curiosities in their eyes. Some whispered, murmured. Some complimented me, but sarcastically. People look at me with judgment. They think that I look like a clown. Well, maybe it's because I'm wearing balloons on my head, but that's not the point. So, my mother forced me to wear a casual style like her more, which I don't like it. It's just not fun. Why do we need to have the same style as her? But we're so different. One day, my aunts exclaimed, "Why do you need to force her? Let her do whatever she wanted, whatever she felt confident and proud." Well, maybe kids' standard is fun, glitzy, and colorful. On the other hand, adult standard might be polite, proper, and elegant. Even though some adults might not like my style, but kids my age or younger than me loves it so much. The different tastes of standards of 2 generations are so different. Speaking of generations, in my house, there's 3 generations. There's me, my mom and dad, and my grandmother. And what I have to hear every single morning is, "Minnie, be a doctor. Do good at academics." Well, sorry, Grandma, I can't. And imagine getting all this pressure for 12 years. Quite torturing, right? But then, my real question is, why? Is it because doctors have honor, wealth, or sustainable future? Or is it just because of her generation trend? I think my grandma might want a doctor whom she can rely on to take care of her in the future. And that is why she hoped that that doctor will be her children's or grandchildren's. She tried to convince her sons and daughters, but none of them was willing to be a doctor. Well, my father's generation had completely failed. What's next? Grandchildren's. And I live with her, so who's the easiest victim, eh? Hey, me. My grandma expects this from me, but I let her down. I'm not good at academics. I fell in love with art, fashion, and design instead. I became a fashion designer at the age 7 and launched my first collection at the age 8. Art, fashion, and design is now my dream job. I sell my clothing lines and had now made 15 collections in total. This proves to my grandma that I can have a career that makes me happy, that I like. Even though it's not the same career as what she wanted, it achieves the same goal. My grandma is proud of me. She constantly shows my interviews to our neighbors and brags about me every once ever. But still, every single morning I still hear the same sentence. "Minnie, be a doctor." Well, I can't change my grandmother's perspective, can I? But I'll try to let her change her mind in the future by getting successful. But being a fashion designer is not just drawing pretty dresses, and that's it. We still have loads of processes to do. For example, flat sketch, sew test, fitting, and production approval. We have to do all this in order to make a dress. And fashion designers have to think of design concepts in order to launch each collection. And in all of my collections, we always have this problem all over and over again. And this problem is caused by one of my crews. He's my father. My dad's business is selling mass products for a living. His standards of beauty is worth versus cost. My design has lots of details and are hard to make. I love laces, ruffles, and decorations, and all of these makes the cost increases, and that's where we have a conflict. My dad always said to me that these are too much. Keep it simple, the cost will be lower. And I know, sure, but then what I love, when it is really produced, it's going to be all wrong. I want to sell my clothes to people whom actually like my style and seems interested. But if they want a casual style or other styles, they can go to other brands they like and prefer. Me and my father has different standards of the word beauty, but not me nor him is right or wrong. These kind of things always happened, like we've met each other in halfway or should have listened to each other's reasons more by not judging one another. Beauty, good, and right are different for different people. Like when me and my father has different standards of the word beauty, or different generations, they might not think the same as I do. The standards of different careers, that will be the best for you. The way of understanding and learning, like with my duck princess. It's okay to be different, as long as you understand and respect other people's different standards too. Now, please look at the paper doll in your hand again. It's cute and you like it, right? Look beside you. Is that paper doll as cute as yours? The important thing is, one standard can't be used to everyone in general. No one in this whole wide world has the exact same interests as you, and it is perfect this way. Now, please swap the paper doll with the persons next to you. Who knows, maybe at the end of this event, you might like that paper doll that person gave to you. See? It's a small step of respecting and understanding other people's standards, and to try to feel comfortable with other people's standards, to try to feel willing to understand other people's standards. And after this, if you came across a situation that you're disagreeing with a person who has different taste or like as you, don't forget this one important thing. Please think of this paper doll in your hand. It's always watching you. Thank you.